Well, good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I want to welcome you to Take Over Tuesday. And I am Pastor D, your spiritual life and relationship coach. And I'm excited about being with you this evening because I have been given another opportunity to share some spiritual nuggets with you, particularly as a woman. So if you are a woman who is married or unmarried, because right now it's all about the woman, I want you to text someone, tell them to get on this Black and Married with Kids that you know of. Position yourself, because I want to give you some nuggets and some things as a woman that's going to help you and empower you, because this is where my passion is. This is where my purpose is, and it's to empower you from a spiritual perspective. So I am Dunamis D, Pastor D, and I am the founder of Dunamis Woman Enterprise, and our whole mission is to provide spiritual mentorship, coaching, teachings, guidance that will cause you to become healed in the depths of your soul by the power of God, that you may be all that you were created to be as a woman. So you have many roles, you have many things that God has called you to do, but the main thing is to build that legacy and to nurture those children and to love on that husband God gave you. And you got to know how to do that without losing yourself as a woman. Second of all, I want to thank Ronnie and Lamar for this opportunity to be here on Black and Married with Kids and Take Over Tuesday, because it's an opportunity and I never take anything for granted. So if you all are ready and you're excited, I want you to position yourself, because I'm going to give you some things tonight that's really going to empower you, but I believe it's going to prepare you. I believe it's going to prepare you for the upcoming free online conference that is hosted by Black and Married with Kids that's coming up on April 28th. And that is going to be a wonderful, power-packed day. So I want you to prepare yourself. And if you haven't registered, I want you to go and do so, because it's things like this that I'm going to be sharing with you tonight that is going to enhance your life as you are endeavoring to fulfill a life of a total prosperity with your spouse, with your family. And so that is going to be a great time. Now, it's for free, so it doesn't cost you any money. However, there's nothing in life that's totally for free. What it's going to cost you is your time. Okay, so I know you got a busy schedule. I know you got a lot of things that's going on, but it's going to be worth you investing your time to be there, because time is valuable. Time is valuable. So whatever you got to do, rearrange yourself, reschedule some things, because the lineup of speakers that's there, including myself, they are awesome and powerful, and I know that you're going to be immensely blessed. But for tonight, here we go. And hello to all of you all that are on here, and you're looking at Pastor D of Dunamis Woman Enterprise, Dunamis D. And so I just want to welcome you on this opportunity, because we're going to talk about wives. I'm going to give you some nuggets. Here's how caring for yourself can help you care for your man. How many of you all need to know how to care for yourself even the more? How many need to know what it requires of you to care for yourself even the more, which is going to enhance everybody else in your life? But right now, the first person is the man that you have been assigned to. So when I use words, know that I'm using words intentionally. I don't just throw words out there to be throwing them out there, because everything for my life has purpose. Even the words that I speak, even how I position those words, even how I say those words. So when I say wives, here's how caring for yourself help you care for your man. That brings it a whole kind of different connotation of what you're probably thinking, because I didn't say how to care for your husband. I didn't say, it says care for your man. And when I'm talking about your man, it's not the fact that, ooh, you got a man. This is my man. I'm not talking about from a coveting standpoint. I'm not talking about from a territorial standpoint. I'm talking about from the place that you have been positioned as a wife to understand some things, that you cannot lose yourself as a woman, because your man need you, not your husband, your man. Okay, but he's the man, not a man, you all, the man. That means he's been specifically assigned to you. Wow. How blessed you are. how special you are. That's why you got to really know who you are as a dunamis woman. That's why you have to know, because marriage is a spiritual connection. It's not a fleshly one. Okay. Anybody can go fleshly, but you got to know the spiritual connection of what has been assigned to you as the woman for the man who have made the decision to occupy the position as a wife. So that it means, because it's a spiritual connection based upon your decision, now you have to understand there's spiritual forces and spiritual opponents that is also assigned to your life. And the goal of it is want to defeat you and deplete you and to drain you, not as a wife, but as a woman. Okay. And most of us, you all, I have not been just doing this for the last 5 years, 10 years. This has been almost 3 decades, but I also had to go through this process myself. And so I do have the stripes on my back. I do have the wounds. I do have the suffering. I do have the knowledge. And it took me that hard stripes to be able to learn this, that I now can impart and to teach a plethora of women all across the globe. That's the beautiful part about my life, that what I have experienced, I can empower you, that you can succeed and exceed and do better as a woman to care for yourself, because many of us as women have lost the one who we never knew. So I want to give you some understanding. So for those of you who have jumped on, I am Pastor D, Dunamis D, known to many. I'm here from Dunamis Woman Enterprise, the founder and the CEO of that, and I'm happy to be with you. And if you're not a part of the Mighty Christian Women group, that's the group that I basically teach a lot of stuff in that I'm doing now, going a little bit deeper. So I want you to join that group, Mighty Christian Women group. And I definitely want you all to be at the conference on April 28th, because it's going to be a power-packed day. So one of the things that I want you all to understand in order to knowing how to care for yourself is to understand. You got to get some understanding. I don't want to just throw some stuff at you. Get an understanding, and I can't go in depth with it, but I want to lay a foundation that there is a distinction between the purpose of a wife and the purpose of a woman. And I was talking to someone today, and I know that, as I said, over 95% of women lose themselves of not knowing the woman that they are before they got married. We have taken the responsibility, and probably 99.9, if I really want to be honest with you, because we took on the responsibility of being a daughter, a girlfriend, a mother, a wife, all these other functions and roles, and we never took the time to discover us as the woman that God created us to be. So you have to understand that there's a distinction between being a woman as opposed to being a wife. That's the first thing. The second thing I want you to understand, that a wife is a position. It's not your identity. A wife is a position that has given you rights, that has given you authority spiritually that no other woman have as it relates to that man in your life, even his mother. That's why the word of God said when Adam saw that woman, he said, for this cause, I leave my mother and my father, and I'm cleaving to my wife. Now, you all, I could teach that to you from a spiritual perspective that will just break it all down and blow your mind. But this is not what the platform is for. That's why I want you to get connected in the Mighty Christian Women group and come to the conference, okay? But that is a teaching that is, when that revelation was given to me, OMG, it literally shifted my paradigm and helped me see myself more as a woman based upon that revelation. So I want you to understand that it is a position and it's not your identity. So don't take it on as your identity, but be able to care for that woman. So when that man needs you, And that care, and I ain't talking about baby him. I ain't talking about just washing his clothes. I ain't talking about just rubbing both of his heads. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about understanding your responsibility that you have been given first as a woman and then as that wife to be able to meet those needs that he have as that woman occupying that position as a wife. I hope this is making sense to you all, because I gotta go into it deeper, but I'm trying to give it to you where you can at least get some nuggets to challenge your thinking. The third thing is know and understand that wife was an accepted choice. Wife is an accepted choice. You accepted that choice to be a wife as a woman. What did that woman expect? What did that woman have in mind? Not what the wife had in mind. What did the woman have in mind? What did that wife, hey Nita, what did that woman have in mind? Not just the wife. So that was a choice to the man that was given to you. Now, a lot of this stuff has to be even explored more and discovered deep within, because when you really understand yourself, you really got a greater understanding of him. See, a lot of us are trying to get an understanding of him, and we don't even understand ourselves, which they have a responsibility to dwell with us with understanding. That's according to the word, to dwell with us. Hey, Lisa, with understanding. So as they dwell with us, how can they understand us when we don't even understand ourselves? But they have a responsibility and we have. Now, the other thing I want you to know is that wife is a woman. You're not just a wife. You are a woman. You are a woman. You have a responsibility as the woman to care for you, not just as a woman. See, let me tell you, I told you I use words intentionally because means general. Okay. Oh, I'm just a woman. Don't ever classify yourself. Oh, I'm just a woman. No, you are the woman. You are a wife. You took that responsibility. You have stepped into that occupancy. You have that authority. You better know how you can govern that as a woman, because you are the woman. You have been assigned that specifically. You have the responsibility. You have the power. And when I say responsibility, I want to backtrack. I'm not saying, oh, you got the responsibility to do all these duties. No, that ain't what I'm talking about. Okay. When I say you have the responsibility, that means you got the dunamis in you. You have the ability. One of the terms for dunamis literally means ability. God has given you an ability. He has given you the ability to respond to the man that is placed in your life. I don't care what he is. He could be wonderful, loving, kind, cantankerous, obstinate, honorary, all of the above, because there's good and evil in everybody. So it don't make him bad. It just makes him who he is. But regardless of who he is, and even the things that he don't know about himself, do you realize God will reveal that to you because you are the woman? You are the woman. You have the dunamis to respond. You have the ability to respond. You have the power to respond. And some of those responses don't mean you have to respond. A non-response is a response. A non-verbal is still action. I don't have to be able to respond everything verbally. It's how I position myself. It's my confidence. It's how I care for me, because caring for me is not just about, oh, let me go get my hair done, and oh, let me go and lotion myself and buy some more clothes. See, that's what a woman does. Come on now. That's what a woman. They just look for the outer things to adorn themselves. But the woman, she knows how to care for herself emotionally. She knows what energy to give out. You know what? That does not even warrant a response. It's just for me to still just love you in my actions and not in my mouth. It's for me to continue to just go away and maybe read a book to build myself up in the time that I need, because the woman needs this. It ain't got nothing to do with the wife. It ain't got nothing to do with that. Because when I nurture myself, I'm able to care for the man that was assigned to my life. Ladies, I'm here to tell you, it gives you the ability to endure like never before. I'm going to give you a real story, and I'm going to go into some things before I jump off of here that's going to really help enlighten you. But I'm going to tell you the truth. In my marriage, at one point, I was facing some challenges, and we were facing some challenges, and he was out there coming home late, doing some things that he desired to do that typically a married man should not do. But however, that was his thing, not mine. I still had a responsibility to care for him, but I was able to do that in those difficult times. Why? Because I had learned how to care for myself. So in other words, when he was coming in at 4 o'clock in the morning, I was already nurtured because I had read a book. I was already nurtured because I had prayed and said, God, in spite of what he's doing, just keep him. I was already nurtured because I had bathed myself and I had taken my shower and I had loved on me. And when they was out there probably doing whatever, loving on somebody else, I did not allow that to emotionally take me out. I did not allow the emotional frustration. I did not allow. My peace is within. It is not without. My peace. Now, I could have went and got a piece, P-I-E-C-E. He could have got a piece of my mind. He could have got, but I refused to give him a piece of my mind because it would have altered my internal peace, P-E-A-C-E. No matter what an outcome was, I have the peace and the assurance that Davetta was the wife assigned to his life, and I was responded in every situation to the best of my ability. See, you can stand up in your own integrity in spite of, and it's still a beautiful thing because we're the best of friends. We still move on. We still do this because why? I still have my peace. A woman sets the course of not only her life, but everybody else's life around her when she knows how to care for herself. You can't put a man, the children, a child before you. You have to nurture you. You have to find those ways, and you will be better for not only him, but everybody else around you. I was telling someone today, matter of fact, it was Ronnie I was talking to from Black and Married with Kids. And I was just telling her today when I was talking with her, I said, you know what? Me not being married at this juncture is a choice of mine because I like caring for the woman. I like my peace. I like my tranquility. I like the fact that I have things ahead of me that I don't have to administer any aspect of my own self at this point right now. See, that's the choice. Now, it's not that I can't be, but that's the choice that I have. So it brings off that type of energy because I like doing this for women. I like empowering women. I like moving and having my tours and going and planning because the woman wants to care for myself. And now in caring myself, I help empower other people. This is what I'm talking about for you. Okay. Now, I want you to understand that just as well as a woman is your identity, that you have to learn more about her. You have to know who she is. Who you are today is not who you were last year. Take some time, wives, married or unmarried, because you don't have to be married to be considered a wife. Okay, I know that I'm wife material. I'm just not assigned right now to the man, but I'm still a wife because the woman loves who she is with her at this junction. Now, you got to take some time to assess your own internal growth, your own internal development, your own internal evaluation of how have Marie grown. Marie, sit back and think about that. How have you really grown? How have you really developed? How has the woman have really taken some hits in life and in her relationships that has caused her to grow up and develop? Learn that woman. Learn who she is. Learn the distinction and the changes that has taken place in your life, that God has done in you, that your yielding to the Spirit of God has allowed that to take place in your own personal relationship with Him. And it will enhance everything else around you, even as you care, nurture, love, the man that has been assigned to your life. So man is an identity. I want you to write this down because I'm going to give you this nugget before I close today. Man is an identity. Husband is his position. Okay. Now, there's two things that they operate out of. Okay. A husband is a protector. In this case, I'm going to just let you know a husband is a protector. He's many more things, but in this case, he is a protector. But the man is a covering. It's a distinction between that. Man is your covering and husband is the protector. Well, what are you saying that for, D? Why are you saying that? You know what? Because a lot of us end up caring for a husband when you need to be caring for your covering. Okay? You can't care for a protector. You can't care for a protector. You care for the man who is the covering. Okay? You can't provide for the husband. You can't care for the protector. He got to go through his own things. He got to go through what he got to go through to bring home that bacon, protect that family emotionally and spiritually. That is not your job. That is him, between him and God. Let that part go. Let it go. Understand that the man is your covering. What do you mean by covering? You have an emotional covering. You have a spiritual covering. That means in the spirit realm, when the enemy sees the man, he gets scared. When the enemy sees the man, that's why he likes to get your perception misconstrued, because when you see yourself trying to care for that husband, leave that husband alone and care for the man. He out there taking the blows. He out there taking the hits. He's taking spiritual darts in his soul because the enemy wants to get the man out of position. He wants to get the man out of your life. He wants to get the man away from you. That's why if a man is experiencing all kind of nagging and moaning and griping, he will flee mentally and emotionally. Stabilize your emotions. Stabilize yourself. You're not caring for the husband. You're caring for the man. He is your covering. You need that. You need that covering. He needs that peace. He needs that tranquility. He needs that laughter. He needs that joy. He needs that vivacious woman. He needs that woman who can be spontaneous and innovative and do things that will take his mind off of the mess that he's dealing with in his own self. Are y'all with me? I want you to know that. And that's why even at this conference that's going to be coming up, you're going to get more nuggets. You're going to get more nuggets. Even as you join Mighty Christian Women Group, ladies, you're going to hear more teaching. You're going to hear more teaching. You're going to hear more teaching because you got to know how to implement this in your life with specificity. That's why you are the woman. Don't you consider yourself a woman no more? Oh, I'm just a woman. No, you are the woman. You have a responsibility. You have the ability to respond to everything spiritually that comes his ways. You just got to know how to fight. You got to know how to war. You got to know how to aim. And how do you know if you haven't sat down and been taught with specificity about first yourself, the woman, and then knowing that the woman came out of the man? Are y'all with me? I hope and pray with every fiber of my being that you got some of this, that you're able to apply to your life right now, at this point, at this time, at this place, because it's very critical, because it's not even about where you are, but it's also about where you are headed with the man assigned to your life. I decree that you and your husband have a prosperous marriage, have a prosperous life, that everything that's trying to come your way in the name of Jesus is annihilated and broken. Every spiritual assignment and every spiritual attack, as you take heed to this, to learn how to care for yourself as a woman, that you're able to care for the covering, the man, the covering that is assigned to your life. Nothing just happens. Somebody got to take it that you may prosper. Somebody got to have taken some blows that you may prosper. And let that be me. I am your intercessor. I am the woman standing with you. I am the woman to guide you spiritually, because what I have learned, I can now impart it unto you, that you may be more refined and defined as a dunamis woman. Well, I want you all to have a blessed night because that's it for me. I got to go to the 14-day healing challenge because we got it coming up tonight. And so I want you to join that group and you'll be able to see what's going on for the Healing for My Soul challenge. Have a good one and see you next Tuesday in Takeover Tuesday. Thanks, Ronnie and Lamar, again for the opportunity.